morning if you are in the same time zone as me. So this is a masterclass about self-leadership. And about how to keep high energy level through the day. So make sure that you feel comfortable. And we're gonna start from a little bit of relaxation. So even if you're preparing, just sit for a moment. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your hands. Make a little scan of your body. Imagine that top of your head is opening for the knowledge, for little change or a big change. And take another deep inhale to your pelvis, lower belly. And while exhaling, feel like you're opening it through the earth. Take another inhale. If you can, make exhale with a sound to relax your nervous system. And one more inhale. Exhale and slowly open your eyes. So my name is Oti, and I guide people in the journey to unlock more energy and self-leadership. And clarity comes together with it as a benefit, and many more benefits. So I have a lot of diplomas, but the thing is that I was struggling a lot with my energy level. Like first with depression for years, and then the energy level when I had ideas, but I felt frustration that I cannot make realizations because one day I was thinking, I had like good energy, and then next 5 days I was struggling with doing anything, whatever. So here I'm gonna show you a little bit of my techniques. I'm gonna show you also how I work with people. I'm gonna describe you. And at the end of a session, we're gonna do a meditation, a guided meditation, where you can shift some stuff on top of it by feeling how you can transform some parts, some archetypes in yourself. Yeah, I help conscious leaders unlock more energy, clarity, and grounded self-leadership. Self-leadership is, the leadership energy is about being a hero. So I was talking about this with one friend yesterday, and I thought it's obvious, but it's not. That I would say we have two options usually: a victim and a hero, victim and a leader. So he didn't understand the part when somebody's attacking, then like, if somebody attacks me, I'm a victim. I'm becoming a victim. But I got very simple example. If somebody shoots me, I'm a victim of a shooter. But the way that I'm gonna behave by being shot, it's different. So I can be a victim and just get down on the ground and start to scream or cry, or I can fight. So I can get up, if it's possible, of course. It's a hard example, but I can get up, fight, run, whatever. So many of us in our society, actually the way they teach us, the system teach us, is to become a victim, because it's comfortable to be a victim in such a big society. So being in a self-leadership, actually, it's about being in, I'm here and I'm going forward. I show my scars, not my wounds. And so I'm helping to activate your inner leadership, so you stop leaking energy through reactivity. Reactivity, I'm gonna talk about this a bit more, but reactivity is, reactivity is when we react for the situations, towards others, because of others. But actually the reactivity, if you go from like a psychological level deeper a bit, it's about nervous system that shuts down or turns fight or flight. So we have three main ways. One is fight, which is not the hero I've been talking about. It's not this way, It's more like, I don't know what to do, so I just fight. And the rational mind, it's like it's shrinking, and then we have just this animal which wants to do something. So fight, run, or pleasing, which we have also here. People pleasing, and people pleasing have a lot of dimensions which are not visible. So people pleasing, people pleasing can be escapism. People pleasing can be like I found in myself a structure of people pleasing last week, that I felt tired and I didn't want to interact with people. I was on a ceremony, Wachuma ceremony, and people, and in the morning I felt tired because I couldn't sleep at the night. And I understood that actually I don't want to react with people because a part which is connected to this people pleasing part feels that my mask of being the person I want to show as myself, it's too heavy at this moment. So I was worried how they will see me, but I felt very down. But actually the best moment to grow, to change that kind of patterns, which we hold from a childhood usually, is to change them while we are in a situation like this. So if you are tired, I think it will be better here and a little bit here. When you're tired, maybe better here. Like David Goggins told it very well way. So you can get harder by being in the temperature of a room which is comfortable. You need to go to the cold, ice cold, or to the fire, or between them. Then you're growing in the power. Overthinking is actually also, can be also part of people pleasing, because overthinking is over scanning the space. It's about being unsafe. So if you are in a space and you're scanning people, like for me it's a power in a way, because this is how I help people. This is how I learned in a childhood, and this is how I help now. But if you do it all the time, then your nervous system is overwhelmed and overreactive. So we are going into the circle that it's harder to be your normal self, the one which is going forward with your plans when you're stuck in a survival, because this is a survival part. And we have a lot of emotional patterns. Under emotional pressure, unconscious patterns are turning on unconscious patterns. And this is the stuff that we learned when we've been children, when we've been, like, science tells that up to 7th year, most of the things that were programmed, that we did program for ourselves actually in a way, because even if we have 1 day old, we are choosing how we behave. The reality shapes us, but still we choose how we react. So we are building this the structures of reactions through the whole life. But first 7 years is the one that we usually don't remember, and we think that we are like this. And here comes the example with a fish in the water, which I like. It's my example when I describe. So imagine that you are a fish in the water. Imagine that you are a fish in an aquarium. That can be the metaphor of your energy system and your your belief system and your mental structure. So basically, the water, you don't see the water. Like, we don't see the air. So fish in the water don't see the water, don't see the chemical structure, let's say. And we are the same with our unconscious patterns. And until you will not see the different water, until you will not refresh the water, or until someone else, like until you're gonna jump to aquarium of another person, of another fish, you will not see the difference. You will unconsciously probably feel that there is something which I don't like, something which is heavy, because the body level remembers better, but more unconscious. So basically, we need someone else or big change of reality around us to make a change, to observe, to really see what are our patterns. Without this, because of this development until 7-year-old, it's hard to observe it. Energy and leadership. High energy. Morning starts at evening. So I believe you know that if you go sleep late and if your sleep is not well, not good, then you don't feel the best. But this is the extreme, let's say. The thing is that if you're gonna go sleep in relaxed mood, if your nervous system gonna be calm, then you're gonna feel better in the morning. Then you're gonna feel more pleasure. Then you're gonna feel more relaxed. Then your sleep gonna be better. Emotional clarity. So basically, here you have the main pillars of the things I'm doing with people. And high energy is on top, but it's a construction of everything which is under. So again, I was before like, I couldn't. I just turn off the vibration in my phone. So I didn't trust myself. Do you know this feeling? That it could be unconscious also, but if you are sabotaging yourself, if you have emotional structures which are usually developed in the childhood, where you sabotage yourself, wherein you don't want to get up from a bed, then basically, and you have a plans which you did the day before or a week before and you're not realizing them, that then you are probably in a moment when you don't trust yourself. So when you don't trust yourself, I will talk on an example. So when you don't trust yourself, then you have, what is that you're not, like, the trust is a construct of fear, that if I don't trust, this is a emotional construct of fear. So I'm afraid that I will not manage, that I will not do something, in this case. And probably there is also some anger, that I'm angry that I'm not doing it on myself. So probably this is a structure that imagine that you are a little girl, boy, and you don't want to do something, and your parent is angry on you, and you are afraid of a parent. So those are the emotions which were programmed in a childhood. On this example, and the emotional clarity is to understand that this part is an angry adult, and this part is a fear of a child, and they are in a conflict. So I have a deep inner conflict, my inner family constellation, which we all have inside, in our psychic mind. You can call it in religion God, Son, and Father, for example. This is like system which is from thousands of years, let's say. Because if you scan the shamanistic cultures, if you scan the Christianity, if you scan Hinduism, if you scan the way that the spirituality see it, everywhere there is trika. And this is this inner family constellation. So if you have mess in this constellation, then you have inner conflicts. If you have inner conflicts, then you have emotional states that you probably don't understand because they've been programmed in by ourselves or by the patterns that we were observing, but still we are choosing it unconsciously, and we are getting stuck in them. So to go out from this structure, you need to go to understanding. And I give, when I work with people, I do it with people, and I show the tools where you can do it by yourself. And when you're gonna understand that this anger is about the parent, and actually anger is energy of movement. Anger is energy. It's like, imagine that anger, agresia in Greek, it's like moving forward. It's about being in, like your mitochondria are producing the energy, you know? It's like electricity, atomic energy that we have inside. This is anger. If you use it right way, if it's unblocked, this is the power which we have. So you need to heal this inner parent and cooperate with this inner child. So if you heal them, if you make them like this, if they agree with each other, if they support with each other, then inner child will not use the pattern of manipulation, of fear, of something else, of something else. There's a lot, you know, but the child will not manipulate because child is emotionally manipulating because child is small, and we still have this small child inside, you know. So if the child gonna feel secure and will know that parent will take care about the child the good way, then the anger is about going forward to the success. And the fear which is healthy for us is about scanning the space. So it stops to block us. It stops blocking us, and we just go forward. So emotional clarity is a part of energy, as you see. If you don't have emotional clarity of the blockages that are inside, and sometimes they are very simple. Sometimes you need like few minutes to release, to unblock it, and this is the tool you can use. I don't know, if you are working in a company or somewhere, then it's you can go to toilet and do it, you know. Or if you start to be very well in this, you can actually do it even faster just by closing your eyes for a moment. So high energy, emotional clarity, nervous system, and this is going like this. Emotional clarity is going to the nervous system. So if you don't feel safe, then the nervous system have these reactions that I described before: fight, run, or people pleasing. And then it goes to relations. we go back to inner constellation, it's about this inner family, because the relations that we attract, that we construct in our life, because basically we are constructing everything that exists in our reality. Like, imagine how big is the world, and the first is survival. Usually survival is, I'm staying in the same space as my family, mentally, psychologically, energetically, and also in many cases in the same city, in the same area. So I'm staying in a space where they survived. This is like genetic, animalistic part. They survived, so this animalistic part goes to the mind. My mind understand that this is the well way. So if you have toxic situations in your family, then this is your home. This is your inner home. So you are stuck, we are all stuck in our inner home until we change it. And this inner home is a construct, it's a like very complicated construct, because it's a construct of parents, of siblings, of uncles, of aunts, of the neighbors, of people from school. And these relations is how we learn to react with other people. And of course we are changing, we are observing a whole life, but sometimes, for example, we've been observing, let's say, toxic pattern of a father, and for example, if you're working in a corporation and you have boss, it could be that you see archetype of a father in a boss. And it's triggering the nervous system, so you cannot be yourself in your leadership energy. It's harder, at least. But if you heal this part, which I do with hypnotherapy, on my sessions, if you heal this part, if you change the emotional structure around it, if you build up a bigger picture or different options than you had in childhood, because if you work with subconscious mind in unconscious patterns, with hypnotherapy, or basically, if you don't know what is hypnotherapy, it's not that you're going sleep. Hypnotherapy is actually talk with unconscious mind, where I guide you. If you work with me, I guide you how to change. It's like a story. You are writing your own book about yourself, inside of yourself, from new perspective. So you still have old perspective, but you bring a new one. And I just hold you a space and I guide you a little bit. But it's not a deep trance of change. Hypnotherapy is just, it's basically psychotherapy, and hypnotherapy is a base of psychotherapy if you go to the history. And hypnotherapy was first. Okay, but this is for your own research. So hypnotherapy is like a psychotherapy, but you narrow your focus on your body and emotions. So actually you can connect not only from a mind which is controlling, you connect to the body level and you change the patterns. This is what is hypnotherapy about. So with relations, if you change the connection to your inner father, so if you change basically vision, how you want to be your inner father, doesn't matter if you're men, if you're women, if you're gay or straight, it's still about this inner trika, this triangle which we have inside. So if you change it, then your nervous system is more calm. It's more in a self-leadership. And because of this, you can hold yourself better. and bring the changes which you need better. And archetypes are, there are many archetypes, and we can change our state of consciousness by working with them. But in this specific field, I'm focused mostly on the inner child and inner adult. The modern psychology, psychotherapy is focused more on inner child, but inner child is not enough. Healing the inner child can unblock a lot, and we need to do it, and this is a part of my program. This is the first module of my program. But then you need to bring an inner adult. Again, we have this constellation, which is like emotional engine. If you have a healthy relationships in yourself, then your emotional clarity is not blocked. So the system is working, nervous system is working, the energy, the electricity in our body is flowing, the hormonal system is open. Chakra system, if you know what is chakra system, it's from Indian terminology about our energy system. I've been half a year in a tantric traditional ashram, and the guru told that to understand chakras is to understand the easiest way for us, for Easterners, is to understand our hormonal system. And you can imagine, I'll give you an example. The best example, I think, is to feel it. That's how I work with people, usually. Close your eyes for a moment, please, if you can. If you're driving, maybe better not. Take inhale. Exhale. And focus on your face. Have a calm face now. And scan the energy of your face. I mean, scan how you feel your face. What is the structure, your muscles, everything. What is like emotional structure. If you don't understand, just focus on your face. And bring a smile on your face. Bigger, bigger. Okay, and now bring a smile in your heart. Take a deep inhale, exhale and relax. So probably, if you watch it, probably you are going toward the energy of conscious leader, self-aware leader. So probably you're a high sensitive person, like I am. And probably you feel the energy. And I don't mean you need to believe in all the spirituality, but physics are that we have energy, about that we have energy, and we sense it because the energy which is flowing through us is it's our physical body which is in relation, like in vibration, you know. By the way, vibration is the emotional state. We feel our vibration by emotional state. This is another part. It's together all. So by bringing the smile on your face, you can see how your body is changing the energy, how your hormonal system, pheromones, how it's working, how it's going outside from inside in a way. You smile and another person is smiling. And by bringing a smile in your heart, this is a subtle level of work. I believe, this is my concept, that this is the level how the plants are working, how the leaves are turning into the sun, you know. It's like the most basic reaction, yeah. Like if you touch something soft in nature, it's going to hide. If you make a smile, if you bring some warm energy, it will open like a flower. And this is very subtle, but we are a construct of many subtle structures and beings inside of us. So with archetypes, we actually already know that this is about relationship between inner child and inner parent. And if the inner child feels that inner parent is holding inner child, so this is the second module when the archetype of inner parent is holding the inner child, then they go together with higher energy and with emotional clarity, and the nervous system feels better. And then we bring, this is like on top, we bring leadership, self-leadership energy. So I brought a plan here to remind. I didn't say too much about myself, I would say, but you have a background already what I do. Some theory done, plan, here you are, here we are, and hacks and routines. That will be interesting because you know, by the years of working with people, before I was working more with the before I was working more with on like, let's say from therapy point of view. Now I'm working more, and I'm actually I'm bringing a new offer at the moment, which is much more complex. Like this is my toolbox in this. And I have situations when somebody came to me for one session. Like usually I work 3 or 6 months with people, but I had situations, especially when I was working on festivals, that somebody came to me, they made the change, I gave them the session, and the change was so big that they wrote to me. I had like at least 3 situations that somebody wrote me after around half a year, like, hey, wow, I want to thank you because the change is so big in my life after your session that I cannot believe it. And at the beginning I was afraid to write because usually it's, you know by yourself probably, that like you can feel very good after a session sometimes, and next day or next days you go down. And the reason why you go down probably is that you need to continue the sessions. That's why I work long term with people. But some people are ready to change, and they just switch a whole life. But to know this, but to do it, you need to be ready, and to hold it. Usually, you need some hacks, and you need to physical work, and you need to bring this stuff to your real life. So, third module of working with me is about bringing the things to reality in training space. So we do it on the sessions. We train ourselves. This is how I also did it, you know. For example, imagine that you have a very hard talk about money with somebody which is like let's say it's a very delicate situation, and if your nervous system is reactive for this person because if you have a hard story together from before, then it's really hard to be calm and to say what you want and to be who you want on this talk. So you can train it. Like when you have observer that gonna show you, gonna where when you can like be like an actor in front of the mirror, but when you have this observer which feels what you do, then you can train yourself, you can understand what kind of energies, emotional states are you bringing to this talk. And from my perspective, from my experience about clients too, but from my own, because I'm the person who, everything what I teach, I had to do on myself, you know? So I had a very hard talk, and it went perfectly when I trained it with someone else who is also doing similar work to me from my community. It just went so smooth. I didn't pull any emotions. I didn't push any emotions. I just did it in a neutral way. To remember it, you can imagine a modern shaman. If the guy would go to the, I don't know, New York City, maybe New York City is not the best example, but let's say we have a normal city, normal big city. So if the shaman would wear shamanic stuff with bones here, like colors on the face and everything, and walk through the city, people would look at him like, it's something strange here. But if the same person will be in a shirt, in a jacket, then people gonna feel him differently. Like he's one of us, or he has high energy. They are focused on the, let's say, elegance, on the way he's behaving. He fits into the society in this moment. And you can say, okay, I want to be like others. But actually, this is the game where you're playing consciously with energy that you show up. And this is a mastery. This is like, if you know how to hold yourself, then you know how to hold others. So I just remind myself by saying that what I forgot to tell you. Imagine that you have a talk with a person, and this person is getting into the inner child wound. And I observed that kind of talk in my relationship, in my past relationship. So this person started to be in the wound, and I started to be a reflection of this wound, of this little child which is struggling. Because I tried, like I understood it consciously while doing this, not at the beginning, but by being the same child, I thought that this person gonna feel safe, and I thought that I'm helping. That was my unconscious program. But because I work a lot with that kind of parts, and I know where to put my shoe between the door, you know, and the frame, I did it to myself, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? Is it working? No, this person is getting into bigger and bigger tornado of emotions. So I just did, hey, let's be a strong masculine in this, like strong, healthy, stable masculine. Let's turn this archetype, this energy. So I turned into archetype of strong masculine energy. And in 30 seconds, and I was quiet, I didn't say anything. I was just observing. I was sitting in the same space. Probably my posture changed because, like, victim is usually like this, and I just changed to the masculine. So I opened, my heart opened, my chest opened, the breathing opened, so my pheromones changed. This person in 30 seconds released this stuff. So this is the power of archetypes that we hold inside. And this is the power of being guided. If someone can show you what archetypes you are working with at the moment. This is this water which you are in. This is this fish. So you're changing like mixture of your water, and you're changing your life. And when you understand it, and when you bring it to your life consciously, then you're changing your identity from the one that is repeating all the loops and it's feeling tired, it's pushing away the reality, so you don't have energy. So you're turning from this to the one that is actually ready to go forward. That is not afraid in a way of freezing, it's afraid in a way of scanning reality, but is conscious about how we can proceed forward. So I think it's already, it's almost an hour. It's 48 minutes actually. Hacks and routines. So to continue, I observed that people are changing in this, like the one that are coming to me. People are changing like few times faster, and the change is real, like you can really see it's real when they are making some moves, physical moves. Like your body, your neurologic, our neurobiology, this is a construct where we need to move. But sometimes it's hard to move. So then we have limbic body hacks. Basically, limbic body and amygdalas are about being in a survival, and in the second one, which is about creativity, healing, relaxing, regeneration. Basically, like from domination of fear and hiding, we are getting into domination of pleasure and excitement, happiness. Like this is like a soup. Our emotional states are like a soup which we can change a bit if we are conscious. This is the mastery, Like sometimes you feel stuck, but you can add a little bit emotions. If you don't do it, I know it sounds weird, but it's really possible, because after a huge crash in my life, really huge one, when I stayed here alone, I'm still on Tenerife. I have ocean here and mountains, by the way, but I will not show you now. So I had a huge crash, and if I wouldn't do all this self-development, if I wouldn't have my techniques, I would drown in my emotions. But I didn't. I could do simple exercise, and in 60 seconds, I was not perfect. but I was not under the water. I was still here. Maybe I couldn't swim fast. I didn't have energy. I was still like after car accident stress, but I was in a level where I could work, I could do some stuff. So limbic body is about its amygdalas. You can do hacks like one of the simplest one is that close your eyes. Let's do it again. Let's try to feel it. Close your eyes and imagine that you have orange in your hand. Orange. If you prefer mandarin, can be mandarin. If you prefer grapefruit, you can be grapefruit. It can be even lemon. And imagine that you're opening it. You have some juice on your hands and you peel off the skin and you put a piece in your mouth and slowly bite it. You have reaction of your body probably now. Imagine that the juice is going through between your teeth. If your tongue is tasting the taste of the juice. You feel the parts of the fruit in your mouth and you swallow it. And take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax, open your eyes. So basically, if you are in a state of survival, like if you are in a state of freeze, by doing that kind of thing like we did now, you can unblock your limbic system, your amygdala, from survival to pleasure. And sometimes it's not so simple, but even in the hardest situation, if you put your attention into creativity, if you create new neurological connections in your brain basically, or if you trigger the one that are connected with a pleasure, then you can really go out from hardest states. Of course, everything is training, and again, that's why the work needs to be done for most of us, for all of us, let's say, longer time. The benefits are coming like you go to the gym. You will not make workout in 1 week that you're gonna look like athlete. You need to do longer time. I know you can do transformation very fast because I did very strong transformations in my life when I focused totally on myself. Like when I went to Thailand and I've been training Thai boxing for 5 weeks, 2 times a day. I changed my weight from 76 kilos to 65 and I was full of muscles and I never felt so good in my life. But I did training 2 times a day, 4 hours a day, hardcore training. It's not like martial art in Europe where you play like everyone is a bit tired, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like you're sweating, it's it's really hard. So, you can change your limbic, you can have limbic hacks, and this is also what I teach while the system. Anger workout. Again, coming back to anger, if you work with your body and your anger is working, like if you can, basically, the anger is a movement. This is repetition, but the anger is a movement. And if you do exercise, in my opinion, specifically exercise about hands, the movement where you do like a low cardio, the best full body, but hands need to be there. It's not only about legs, let's say. Legs are a bit psychologically about something different a bit. Basically, our body puts psychological reactions in the different like like our brain is our full body, let's say. Our nervous system is in our whole body. So I also work with the body, with people, you know. I'm also a yoga instructor. I also do massages. I'm focused on online work, but I know these parts. I do them. So we have patterns in our body that everyone has the same one. So depending which part of the body you move, you are releasing or giving a power to different parts of your psychic. So basically, if you make a workout, which is like 25% of anger, let me understand you. You are not pushing, let me give you understanding. Like if you're pushing, but not too hard, because you don't want to destroy yourself in the morning, but you want to have a stable dopamine. You want to bring the dopamine to life. If you have ADHD symptoms, or you are just ADHD person, this is the way you're gonna bring the stable dopamine without the drugs, without the okay, I don't remember the name, but without this. At least it works for me very well. So anger, if you move your body, like if you put some weight on your body, if you move your muscles, if you trigger your muscles, this is an anger. So your body starts to feel more safe because it feels that you have agency of yourself. Legs and oxygen. Hips are about emotions a lot. Lower belly, lower back, it's about emotions. So it's very good to do some stuff on hips. And if you go outside and do some balance work, maybe it's about running, but it could be also about jumping, walking on the stones on the beach. I know it's not available for everyone, but probably you have some places where you can play with yourself a bit. So if you combine hips with passing the objects, then you're triggering this synapses in your nervous system. And you're growing the power of your brain. Like you're growing your awareness. And if you grow your awareness, you are growing your map about reality. If you have map, you have more safety. Mapping neurobiology, I feel I can leave it for now, but this is a very interesting exercise and perspective. This is something which I talked already about, I would say. Morning and evening routine. If you don't have a power to do meditation, if you don't know how to land your nervous system, just choose something that's gonna calm you down. That is simple. So if you want, like when my nervous system is very active, I just watch something in the evening, in the night, before going to sleep, to bring the focus on something which is not important, which is abstract. But it needs to be a series or a movie which is not about shooting, running, etc. It's calm, it's more of like for family, it's boring, it's a bit funny. This is what you need. My favorite, for like the one that I recommend for everyone, is Resident Alien. I really like this one. Unfortunately, I already finished it. And imagine, this is the thing. The thing I'm telling you now is been told by a person which don't watch TV from 20 few years. And past years, I barely watched any films or Netflix or something. I felt that I'm losing my time, it's stupid. But actually, this pattern that I'm losing my time when I should rest, this is the over control pattern. So the perspective, the switch of perspective for people who are high achieving people, and I believe this is you, even if you have ADHD, then probably it's not managed ADHD that is about high achieving at the end. You need bigger goals. You need goal all the time. You want to win your life. And the perspective change which I guide you in is also about changing the idea what the things, everyday things are bringing to you. So this simple example, by watching a well-chosen series, you're building capacity, emotional capacity, and relaxing your nervous system. So you're building your power. And the trick is to make it in balance. The trick is to change the perspective, what is the best for you. So the trick is to understand how to hold your inner child by your inner parent again, and become one thing together. Why do we need to transform mechanisms? Okay, this will be probably 1.5 hours together. So you can, if you're watching it live now, you can watch it later if you don't have time. But it will be very interesting for sure. The things you're gonna understand, and the meditation. I know that when I did it a few days ago, people really love it. So I already told about perspective shift. But mechanism of healing is that we need outside conditions to change. So if we put ourselves in the conditions where we need to change, like into deep water, it's a one way. But another way, which is very natural for us, it's if your relationship with your mother was normal, if not, maybe you have someone else that you can remind, or you can observe in other parents and children, that the child usually, when the child goes with a father or with other children or someone else, they are more strong. If they fall, they don't cry so easily. This is like general vision, of psychology. If they go with mother, or when they come back to mother, then they start to release emotions. That they start to be more angry, more crying, and everything. And this is a natural mechanism because they feel safe. They feel much more connected to the mother. Mother gonna hold me. This is the same mechanism which we, as an adults, use with a therapist, with a coach, with a person who is working with you. So you need to trust this person, and by long work, you start to do it. So you start to feel that you've been held, and actually you're learning how to hold yourself, how to be your inner parent again. But usually we need someone else anyway. Our tribe, our friends, our family. Maybe family is not the best example usually, but this is this part. And space holding. This is about space holding, but there is also another mechanism. It's about dream. When we are dreaming, we are integrating our emotions. And I don't say that every dream is about this, if you are into OBE, etc. But if we have this dreams about what happened today, you know, things that happened today, and they are like mixed. This is about integration of our emotional states that we had this day. And if something very hard is happening, usually no adrenaline is kicking in and the dream stops. We can not go further. We cannot integrate. And this is the place again where you need space holding. Hypnotherapy is about, it's like from Greek, it's like the name, the etymology of this is a state like a dream. So you are in relaxed state, and someone is holding you. So you have security of your mother, and someone is holding you in this space. So you have more, like, you feel more safe to release these emotions. And the subconscious mind doesn't see the difference between a real life and the dream. So that's how we can change our inner system. This is how we build our inner system, our foundation that holds us. This is 90% plus of our reactivity, automatization through the day. That's why we need to change it to evolve. Okay, I already told a lot about number one identity without saying that this is number one identity. So number one identity, in a shortcut, it's a 3-month process of transformation where we, in first month, we work with inner child more. It's focused more on inner child. Basically, it's about number one, what happened here? Okay. Let's see if the picture gonna come back. Yes, it is back. Camera shut down. So basically it's about integration, like I already told you, the inner child with inner adult. And why it's number one identity? Because we need to be number one for ourselves. For our inner adult, inner child needs to be number one. Then the child feels safe and doesn't manipulate. Like one part in the first phase, we heal the structures, we change them, we grow. But still to not like escape to, like to do it more consciously, you need to grow the inner adult in the next phase. So imagine that actually the camera, which just turned off, because I, like the video is from camera, Sony Alpha. So you have a belt of camera. And when I was playing with my daughter, I was in a house of our friends. She was pulling this belt, and I was making her video. And one friend we had like an interesting talk. So my pleaser wanted to talk, didn't want to go out from a room. But my daughter, which was kind of my inner child, because this is this is a mirroring of ourselves and our children. So my choice, first idea was I need to stay and talk. But actually, the need of my inner child was I want to connect with my inner child, with my daughter. And she is the most important. She needs to know that she is the most important for me. And I care about her. So she was pulling the belt and I went with her. That was my choice. It's a simple situation. But same time, when she didn't want to go asleep, and I seen that she's tired, she's struggling, but her frontal, I think it's called cortex in English, frontal part it's not developed yet, it's a little child. So the adult which understands, which the brain is fully developed, I hope so, is about holding this inner child. So I had to bring her to the bed even she didn't like it, We need to learn some patterns, teach ourselves. So number one identity is about holding our inner child in the way as we, as our inner adult, feel it's the best. And it's about understanding healthy patterns in our inner relationship. So you have like first step. Second step is about inner adult identity. Yeah, we are rewriting internal story who we are as an adult. And we start to make decisions from grounded self-leadership. This is where true personal power, emotional maturity, and internal stability begin to strengthen. You are getting more strong. You are more strong. And third phase is about embodiment. And next slide, I believe, will be the slide where I'm gonna show you three persons which I worked with. And this is my promotion, of course, and this is the constructions of many webinars. But if you don't know me, you need to understand how I work with people, because I do this webinar because I want to take care about people who need to understand the things I already know. What I'm sharing is around 30 years of conscious self-development. And yes, I started when I was 9 years old. I started to read books about self-development. I did my first breathing techniques when I was around 9 years old. Oopsie doopsie. Looks like again my camera is I will just bring another the front camera of my laptop. And this one can go out. You don't want to cooperate, then we don't need to work with you. This is still good enough. So what naturally emerges is more clarity, more energy, grounded confidence. This is self-leadership, calm leadership. That means your nervous system is more stable. emotional stability, so you read your emotions the way they really are. Because the part of our emotion, like coming back to anger as an example, is when I feel anger in situation with another person, usually it's about my boundaries are crossed. So I need to react. I have more anger to react. But the question is, if my boundaries are healthy, if they are the way my adult self understand them, or if they are as my inner child understand them and unconsciously starts to be reactive. So self-trust comes when you have a stable level of energy, which goes together like with the therapy part, and coaching part goes together with the everyday work which I guide you through. I mean, we don't have a session every day, but we have a session like one longer. Like in my core program, in my main program, premium offer is about you are you receive one long session a week, so 4 times a month, and optionally we have one meeting if it's needed, like 20 minutes checkup, and we are also 4 days on chat where I guide you what to do, and you have things to do which I guide you through. Everyday little routines which are building your energy power and clarity and the way like you transform, and that brings aligned execution at the end too. Yeah, it's becoming someone who fully backs themselves internally and moves through life from a place of grounded self-leadership. So here we have example of some people. Marta, we did a half year of work, and in a shortcut she understood really a lot about herself, and she totally changed her life. And we are still in contact, we are friends, and we like this is the way I also work. Like Marta, I knew her before, but this is the way I work. It's not about being a distance coach or therapist. It's about being in a relationship, person to person, human to human. So she basically changed so much that she became a life coach by herself. And she made a lot of changes in her life. Andy, when we started work, he was low with energy. He was kind of stuck, and like some people see like the change is coming. Some people just see the life is changing, and from the moment when he was stuck with his business, with his work and everything, and he was doing renovation, which was overwhelming. When we finished, he was already finishing renovation, very happy what he'd done, and he started to tidy up his business, and the business started to actually run, and he changed his job for the one that he was more into, more dreaming about. So, and he started, now when I connect with him, he told me also that he's doing workout, and I observe him, he's a very good DJ, and I see he has a lot of fun in his life. Błażej is another man. With Błażej we had a bit different way of working. I mean, we had some sessions, and then he came to me for 2 weeks. This is another option of working with me. So we had an intense process every day, and we were doing other things together while the day. So there were a lot of observations, and in the morning every day we had a long talk. So basically, Błażej, I helped him to unblock his life. I will not go into the details, but he changed some relationship patterns, and basically he just came back from traveling almost around the world with a lot of power, and everything started to run better. Like basically what it's like, most people who come to me, they are consciously or unconsciously just in front of a big changes in their life, of like they feel that they are like between invisible glass, like they are here, and on the other side of this glass there is a world that I really want to live, and it's like very viable, but somehow it's not working. So I guide them to dissolve this glass. And the big changes are coming. Like people are selling the houses, changing the places where they live, changing the countries, setting up their new business, having more fun, getting pregnant. Because sometimes, like, if you want to get pregnant and you have, like, story in your mind that it's not safe to be a child, and the emotions are blocking you, then your body gets stuck. And this is also what can happen, and it happened. I had this kind of experience. You can unblock really a lot from a subconscious level. Number one, identity. Just try to say yourself, while you understand already number one identity, say yourself number one identity. And how you feel with this? Number one identity. Words are creating the life. The language is a magic structure that we hold. How we talk to ourselves is how we are generating our inner life, inner ecosystem, which goes from inside to outside. And now I want to ask you to sit comfortable. If you need a toilet, just run for a moment. That will be the moment of meditation, guided meditation, where you can feel more to the things. The things I've been talking about, they can land now better. So when you understand how to, for those, like maybe someone is in toilet, but anyway, it's very important that if you change your perspective about how you create your life, what is creating your better life, like how to have the more energy, it's a construct of many things which are building our muscle of self-leadership. And for some it's harder, for some it's easier, because many of us are on different level of self-development or of different moment in a life. But by bringing simple, small things, like starting from 5-10 minutes a day, we can really shift our life The sky is the limit, you know this, I guess. If not, the sky is the limit. And for some of humans, even not this. And they are just humans, how we are too. Okay, so take a nice seat, or you can lie down even. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax. Imagine that you are standing on a little grass field with trees around. And in front of you, there is a mountain which you're gonna climb soon. Imagine that you are an adult, but you have your inner child on your side. So you're going for the trip together. Let's say inner child is around 7, 10 years old. But any age you see is good. Any age when they can walk. When you can walk as your inner child. So imagine that you are making a checkup. You observe your inner child, how he looks like, if the shoes are okay, if the wear is okay. Do it slowly. This is your time to have a little adventure together. Check if it's everything okay with you also. And you can take hand of your child and start to walk. Maybe child is asking questions like where are we going, what will we do? So you can describe in a short how you're gonna climb, hike up the mountain. To make your inner child, to give him a map, to give some excitement and to feel safe. So you can describe, we are going here, there, and we are walking. Probably you already feel a bit warm, more warm. Probably you made some way already. And probably there is a moment now to take a little break. Because I believe that you can push and you can walk as an adult, but let's check up with your inner child. How your inner child feels. Maybe it even wants to run. But maybe it needs to rest. So we make a stop for a moment, and I recommend you to look back. This is a very good technique when you're climbing the mountains to see what you already achieved on your way. Same with your life. And by doing this, you're also showing your inner child how to calm down the nervous system, how to regulate. And after a little break, maybe some water, go up again. Take a deeper inhale. Exhale, relax your body, and you make a visualization that you're going up. Maybe you see some animals, probably you hear some birds. Maybe there's a little river on your side. Probably you feel excited about the way up. Probably it will be very interesting view from the top. There will be. And you meet another adult. And he starts to talk about something very interesting for you. But your inner child is like, I want to go up. So, without waiting, just say, thank you a lot for this talk, but this is a time for us now. So, I need to follow my child. We are going together to the top. Thank you and goodbye. And see how you feel after doing this. You walk up again together. Maybe you need to take your child up if it's a very little child for a while. Take care about your child, but also take care about your adult. Don't push too much. Probably you have already a much bigger perspective if you look around. Maybe other mountains, maybe the clouds, probably the sun is nice. Or maybe it's raining a little bit. I think you know the best. And I think it's still exciting. Feel the fresh air, take inhale, healthy mountain air. And exhale. Again, check if child can walk, if you have enough strength. Imagine that you make a stop and the child finds something interesting. And you start to play with this, you have a little game around that. But you know that you have a lot of road in front of you towards the top and you need to go back. And you are not prepared to stay with a child in the mountains for a night. And if your child doesn't want to go, just take your inner child in your hands and start to walk. And show her, him, these little birds, maybe this deer somewhere in a bush, or show the top of a mountain where you're going, which is already visible. Probably you're already happy and you don't remember what was there at the back. Take a deeper inhale, exhale and relax. And the top is already very near. It's so exciting that you start to run. You run together, you hold your hands, and you're standing on the top of a mountain. The perspective is amazing. Your hearts are beating, your faces are smiling. You look at each other's eyes, and yeah, we achieve it. We are on the top of the mountain. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax, observe how your body feels there. Imagine that your child is jumping on your back. And how you feel together in this excitement, in this space. And imagine that you have wings, like an angel, like a bird. You have a wings and your child is on your back. Maybe it's even integrated into yourself, like you are already integrated into one person with wings. And imagine that you're jumping and you start to fly. And you see this amazing world, the possibilities. How your body feels in this. Maybe you feel something strange, but this is the part that you can heal. Take a deep inhale. Exhale and fly. And imagine that slowly you're flying to the place where your body sits or lie down now in your room. The place where you hear me, my voice. And your integrated future self is landing in your body. And integrating. Feel how your body feels. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax. Inhale. While exhaling, move your fingers, move your toes. Let your subconscious mind integrate. You have directions, how you want to feel in your future self. Let your subconscious mind inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your subconscious mind connect the dots, release what is not needed anymore. and bring to life what feels the best and it's supportive. Inhale. Prepare to open your eyes, and while exhaling, open your eyes and come fully to here and now. So this is direction. Imagine how you can grow, build yourself by growing your ecosystem the way we just did now. How fast you can grow. Thank you a lot for today. If you want to connect with me, the best is to start with a strong commitment. So to give you more commitment and faster way, I give you 10% of discount for my core offer, which is number 1 identity, 3 months of process. You just need to tell me the code from this webinar, from this masterclass. It will be active till the end of June 2026. And I wish you a beautiful day or beautiful night if you watch it in the evening, afternoon, or night. And if you know that somebody needs that kind of work, your friends, your family, this recording gonna be shared for at least 1 more month, maybe longer. So please send them that. Thank you. And goodbye.